Welcome back, everyone. Today we started out in Juno Beach, and you're gonna see us check out another spot later in the video. We hit up 2 different beaches today. Wanted to try to find some shells. We came here first because it was low tide at this point. Find some different things in this video, some sea glass and some cowries. And if you're interested in seeing what we find, just keep on watching. First thing that I picked up was this piece of sea glass, and I don't find it very often. I love picking it up. I think it's fun to bring for crafts. There is a bittersweet clam. So tiny. As we were walking up the beach, we stumbled on this pile of shells. We don't know if someone decided to dump their shells that they found that day, or if maybe they brought them from home, but we thought there might be some treasures in here. My boyfriend is showing me this cowrie shell. This beautiful yellow cowrie. Can't believe someone decided to give that up. But it's a good size there. What else did he find? There's a seraph and a flat scallop. It's so hard to find these whole. Usually they're broken. That one was pretty nice. Just looking through, some of this seemed really old. A chestnut turban. What we didn't show you before this was that we actually brought some shells from home that we were going to give back to the beach, and same kind of thing, we decided to put them back on the beach where they came from. Sadly, here was a broken murex shell. You can see there are some scallops in there, some oyster shells, some pieces of different shells, some olives, some conch pieces. Usually we'll just leave the pieces on the beach. There was a nice lettered olive. Picked up a piece of a banded tulip. You can see the core inside, which is pretty cool, and that top is nice, but sadly it's broken. And another murex shell. I wanted to talk to you guys about something I got a comment about picking up the shells and leaving them or taking them home. And what I typically do is I will take some home that I really like, and I will also bring them back after that, just so I can show you guys. And we do leave a lot of shells at the beach. There's a lot that we don't take home. Mostly I just pick them up to show you guys. There's another little chestnut turban. Maybe it will be the day of the chestnut turbans. A piece of a Scotch bonnet here. Taking a walk up the beach here, just giving you guys an idea of what the shells were like that day. A lot of clam shells on this beach. Some slippers, the usual shells that we find here. I'll pick them up every once in a while. Little piece of something. A big slipper snail. That one had a little hole in it. And there was a piece of a scallop. Nice bright orange color there. And again, showing you the clams, the spectral bittersweet clams. Here's a nice lady in waiting Venus clam. tiny little spiny jewel box. Check it out. Spotted a nice chunk of coral here. Wanted to give you guys a few moments to just appreciate the ocean, the sounds of the waves. Can you spot the shell that looks a little different? I did. I found this beautiful imperial Venus clam. Look how big and thick those ridges are. Don't find them often, but when I see them, I like to pick them up. A little broad-ribbed cardita. Those orange stripes. Tons of those clam shells. Nothing too exciting there. Found this shell. It was broken. It's one of those cantharus shells. Typically we'll find them in the water more than on the shoreline. Picked up a crossbarred Venus clam. Had this really dark brown color, so it caught my eyes. It looked a little different than everything else. Piece of a lion's paw. And here was the back of a scallop shell. That would have been a pretty big scallop shell, and it was super dark. Here is one of our favorites. It is the American auger. Wow, a beautiful piece of sea glass here. I love that green, kind of turquoisey sea glass. There's my boyfriend snorkeling in the water. He usually goes along the edge and tries to find some shells in that break there. He does all the hard work while I walk on the shore. Found a nice turkey wing on the beach. Spotted something else near it. There's another auger. Good size. Every once in a while I'm brave and I try to get some shots of me looking for shells in the water break there. Doesn't look like much. Some of those clam shells. Put it back. We'll have to try again later. Sitting there on the beach, found another one of those little cantharus shells. Beautiful lettered olive. Look how shiny that outside is. This poor shell has seen some better days. Maybe a turtle gave it a munch, but it was a conch shell at one point. Another beautiful imperial Venus clam. This one had some nice orange striping to it. The other one was more white, and this one you could see all those beautiful colors. I was so excited to find that. A little baby calico scallop. This is one of my favorite things to see, the beach lined with shells. I love the sound of the shells against each other, especially when the waves go over them. It's just my happy place. I like to stop and take a look at the beach. I made it pretty far down the beach here, and I was taking a moment to just enjoy it. Try number 2, and I got a nice lettered olive. I spotted this pretty spectral bittersweet clam. Mossy arc. Picked up a little jingle shell. Didn't find that many that day. For our last couple finds at this beach, I picked up this shark eye moon snail. It was pretty beat up, sadly, because that's a good size, so we had to leave it there. Couple of lettered olives up here. Here we are at our second location for the day. We're excited to get out there and look for some shells. We actually find some really cool ones. If you want to see, you're going to have to watch until the end. When we got down on the beach, there were this huge shell pile. Don't worry, we'll come back to that. But wanted to give a look at the rocks. It was pretty windy that day, so there were a lot of big waves crashing. On top here was this lightning whelk. There were some deep cuts in it. It was not doing too great, so we decided to leave it there. Tried to dig around in the shell pile a little. Mostly broken shells. These rocks really can tear up the shells before they get onto the beach. But also they can collect some good shells, so it's always worthwhile to at least look through it. Comment down below if you guys see anything that I missed while I was digging through here. This is what we were waiting for all day. Here is a little coffee bean trivia. You can see those brown spots on the top, and there's a lot of sand in there, but still, this was so exciting. Right near it, I picked up this piece of coral. I like the little stars in it. I said hi to the sandpipers. They were running away from me. I guess they didn't like me too much. I'm not sure how I spotted this little guy, but it is a baby shark eye moon snail. Has a lot lighter color than I would usually see, but it was whole. Then I saw this lightning whelk. Doesn't look like much of a lightning whelk. Maybe it was a pear whelk, but it is gray now after it's been sitting in that sand for so long. Spotted a beach friend. There was this bird sitting there. If you know what kind of bird it is, comment down below. Again, another little miniature shell. I think this could be a little carrier shell. It's some sort of top snail. Again, comment below if you guys know what that is. Right next to that broken lightning whelk, I found this little Cantharus shell, this little baby shell, and another coffee bean trivia. Oh my gosh, 2 in one day. And these are really hard to spot on the beach. Beautiful little orange scallop shell. In the water, I spotted this calico scallop. I love when it has those red spots on it. Some more coral. Do you guys like finding the coral? Or do you like when I pick it up? Comment down below. It's 2 scallop shells. Didn't have much luck with the moon snails that day. Here's another shark eye moon snail with that beautiful red eye, but top was broken. Ended up back at this shell pile, giving it another look. It was a good thing I went back because I found another coffee bean trivia. That was our 3rd one of the day, and these were the best finds, I would say. Anything else good in there? Here's this clamshell. Saved one of the best finds for last. This seems like a juvenile fighting conch. Missing that pointed tip, but look how pretty that is. Here is an olive shell, and it took me a bit. I was hoping that it was an albino, but you can see that there was some of that yellow at the bottom. I wanted to take a few moments at the end to talk about the turtles because I saw a lot of these turtle eggs up on the beach here. Sadly, the water came up and seemingly washed the nest open, and I was hoping that the turtles safely made it out and the nest got covered up, but it is unfortunate seeing a lot of these eggs out there. That's the end of the video. Up next is the haul. Found a lot of lettered olives that day, some nice big chunky ones, some arcs, some clamshells, augers, some slipper snails, a few little limpets, those coffee bean trivias, missing one there, and this was a really cool find, this tiny mini shell. It's this beautiful bright pink, almost chrome looking. That's it. See you next week.